days are running slow. Sunsets and shores far from home. Headlights are shining on the sea. No place on earth I'd rather be. And I could try to just follow the sweat, but I'll never find this anywhere else. I'll never find, I'll never find, I'll never find.
Welcome back everyone. It's a stormy day outside today, and yes, we've still got that indoor water feature that's still happening. So I'll talk a little bit more about that a little later in the video. Over the last few weeks, as you know, it's all been about the bedroom renovations, and then last week we were finally able to do a grand reveal of the finished bedroom. Well, almost finished, because if you remember, there are a few things that we need to address, such as the doors. So we've ordered the replacement doors. Hopefully they'll be here and we'll be able to fix those on over the coming weeks. Then there are just a few other little bits and pieces, such as these linen pillowcases for the large square pillows. These were meant to arrive with the rest of the bedding before the grand bedroom reveal, but they didn't turn up. But they're here now in this gorgeous cinnamon colour, which will look absolutely stunning with some of the accessories in the bedroom. So some of you will be pleased to know that we've taken on board some of your advice with regards to the bedside cabinets. We decided not to paint them and to just leave them as the natural wood instead. We're going to try and fix the scuffs and scratches a little bit, but it's no big deal. Like I said in last week's video, they were an absolute steal at £30 for the pair. So we're not going to paint them. The only thing we are going to do is we're going to swap out the handles for these nice vintage antique style brass pull handles, and these will just add a slight contemporary touch while keeping that vintage vibe. One thing we are going to do, mind, is we're going to upcycle an old pine blanket box that we've also found off Marketplace. We love Marketplace. Have I ever told you that? So we picked it up for, I think it was like a tenner or something like that. And we just needed something to store the bedding and blankets and things. Believe it or not, despite having all of these wardrobes, at times it still feels like there isn't enough storage. So this old pine blanket box, it's just a bit old-fashioned. We're going to, and you can see it's definitely seen better days, so we're just going to upcycle this, sand it down, paint it, swap out the handles, blah blah blah. So that'll be something that we'll be working on over the coming weeks. So you'd be forgiven for thinking that this bedroom costs a small fortune to do, but you'd be wrong. So the key is with interior design is the ability to blend seamlessly more affordable pieces with the higher quality key pieces. So for example, yes, we spent quite a bit of money on the engineered oak wood flooring. That was quite expensive. And we've spent a little bit more money in other places, such as the paint. We went for 𝗪𝗏𝗏 just because we love their colour range and the rich depthness of the paint. The bedding was also quite expensive. We do like the 100% linen bedding, just because it lasts longer, it feels nice, it has this cosy texture, but more importantly, it keeps you cosy and warm in the winter, it keeps you cooler in the summer. But for me, the best part about it is you don't need to iron it. Yes, you can stand there and iron it and waste hours of your precious time if you want, but the beauty about linen bedding is, by nature, it's designed to have this slightly, ever so slightly crinkled, tumbled, relaxed look rather than looking too formal. So we do like that bed, and we did splash out a little bit on that, just because we've had it before and we know it does last many, many years. So rather than spending thousands on a bespoke fitted wardrobe, which we definitely don't have the budget for, we went with the IKEA PAX wardrobes and modified them to look more fitted and custom built. But most of the accessories are also from IKEA, so Adam's plants and plant pots, candles and his candle holders, and even the alarm clock, all from IKEA. The wall art, well, these are prints in vintage style IKEA frames, except for this one, a hand-drawn portrait of our old dog Sam. We've also got this wooden vintage printer's tray with letterpress blocks, which Adam is using to display some of his plants. And of course Adam's upcycled bellows camera lamp. That's an antique too. But when it comes to things such as the brass hooks on the side of the wardrobe, well, as much as we would have loved genuine vintage ones, like the old school hooks that we had in our previous house, we just couldn't find any this time. So these are repos. And the same goes for the vintage style wall lights. And then of course there's our antique Victorian brass headboards, a genuine antique which we found on Marketplace and we modified it to fit. Our brass coal scuttle is antique, but the basket for the logs is new. My point is, you can mix old with new and you don't have to spend a fortune to create a space that feels high quality and full of character. It's about knowing where to invest and where to save. So a few of you have been asking, where did you get those vintage rugs for the bedroom that we've seen in the last video? Well, we actually picked them up from an antique centre a few weeks ago. So let's pause this video for a second, jump back in time as we take you on a vintage shopping trip with us. Well, here we are again. They're getting quite frequent, these trips out on a weekend, aren't they?
Where are we going now?
So we are going to pick up a lovely oil painting that I have acquired. So I've been looking for some authentic hand-painted paintings rather than prints that would suit the cottage, and we found one, or rather I found one on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace. We do love Marketplace, don't we? For our little vintage finds. Anyway, so I found this old oil painting of a farmer and two Clydesdale horses ploughing a field, which is I believe the field is meant to be in a farm up here in Scotland somewhere, and obviously Clydesdale horses, so it's very relevant to, you know, the area that we live. And given that the cottage and the village where we live has a history in farming anyway, I thought that would be pretty apt for the cottage, and it would look stunning. Adam wasn't too keen though, were you?
Well, I want to see it in real life first before I make my decision.
So it's an absolute steal at £40, reduced from £100, and I've seen similar oil paintings priced at anywhere between £150 and £250. So I consider myself having got an absolute bargain. But it's one thing, you know, seeing it on the pictures on Facebook Marketplace. As Adam said, we need to physically see it first, but I think it's going to look stunning in the cottage anyway. So that's where we're heading to. We're going to pick that up. That's heading south a little bit towards Carlisle. And while we're down there, if we've got time, we're going to look in a couple of little vintage shops. Is that right?
Yeah.
And there are a few little bits and pieces we need to collect from a DIY store for the bedroom, the wardrobes project that we're currently working on. So we shall see you all later. Bye for now. Adam looking for a potential rug for the bedroom. Have you found one?
Mm-hmm. It's quite nice.
If you want a bargain, don't forget.
These are handmade.
They're handmade?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Version.
Very nice.
Absolutely not.
So mean. You seen anything you like yet?
Grandfather clock.
Grandfather clock. That one. There's two.
I know the brass face one. That would fit. It's got a nice movement to it.
Adam and his barometers and his grandfather clocks. Oh look, I see another barometer, Adam. And another grandfather clock.
Well, that was a long day.
That was a long day. It was a productive day though. How many vintage shops did we visit?
2 vintage shoppies.
2 vintage shops. So we do like a good scrummage, looking through these places for little curios. Anyway,
The painting.
the painting. Do you want to see?
I bet I had.
He's so miserable.
I'm not miserable. I'm not convinced. I haven't seen this thing in the flesh.
Ta-da! What do you think? Oh no, don't you like it?
Well,
Why don't you like it?
there's big horses.
Well, the Clydesdale horses,
They're as big as Benji.
the farmer and the Clydesdale horses ploughing the field, that's on a farm up here in Scotland somewhere. It does say on the back which farm it is, but I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it because I can't, so apologies for that. It's painted by an artist called Andrew Hanna. I have actually seen some of his work available for sale on various art auction sites. I like it. I think that's going to look stunning in the cottage. You're not convinced, though, are you?
No, it's just going to grow on me.
I think I like the, well, I mean, the cottage in the village has a history in agriculture and farming. So I thought this would suit the cottage. I like the sunset. It's that kind of golden hour just as the sun's starting to go down. The cheery little farmer, he looks very friendly. And obviously the Clydesdale horses, power horses, who doesn't like them? Well, I like it. It's quite nostalgic for me because it reminds me a little bit of my nana and granddad. This is the type of thing they would have had in their house when we were kids and we'd go out to visit nana and granddad. They'd have the ceramic Clydesdale horses on display, or they'd have similar pictures to this. So it's quite nostalgic to me. Anyway, we'll find a nice space for it. Not behind the door.
Benji, where do you want it to go?
Benji's saying the boiler shed.
Boiler shed?
You're so mean, Benji.
Gee.
Anyway, show us what you've got then. Come on, let's see. Let's see what you bought. Pass me the camera. So what did you get?
Right, well I got 2 handmade antique vintage Persian carpets. Benji, chat. What's the first one?
Very nice. If I do say so myself, because I actually chose this one.
So they're old, but they're in really good nick, and they're handmade, and they're just really, really nice carpets. Really, really good quality. Benjamin, thank you.
This is going to look stunning in the bedroom, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And then, because the place we went to was the Cumbrian Antique Centre.
Mm-hmm.
Really nice couple that run it. And we had a nice haggle with them as well, which is always fun. So we actually ended up with 2.
God, Adam, you have been spoiling yourself.
Spend all that overtime money on something.
Very nice.
And again, this one's really good quality. It's really thick as well, so that'll be toasty. And the, what was his name? Steve, who's the owner of the shop, was saying this is the elephant foot style pattern on this one, and these are supposed to be like the elephant's feet.
Ah.
And then the style on this one is a garden.
They're both absolutely stunning. And this is the thing, we do, you know, although I'm saying the 𝗪𝗲𝗄𝗆 pictures is very in keeping with the cottage and everything, we like an eclectic mix of things. It's
well,
not
we like
just
things which are unique.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, none of these handmade rugs are ever the same. They're always slightly different because they're handmade. And you can't just go into any shop on the high street and buy stuff like this. So this was really nice, and he had loads of really nice stuff there. If I had a deep pocket, I would have been spending a lot more money.
Yeah, there was lots of really nice stuff, wasn't there? They were very kind to allow us to pay for the rugs, obviously, but bring them home and, you know, double check, make sure that they're going to suit the style of the room that we want to put them in.
Yeah.
And if not, we can...
They're happy to take them back and either refund or swap for different ones, because they had loads of different types there.
Yeah.
Lots of different designs, different colours, but I kind of wanted sort of reddish-y colours to go in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then you saw that one, which has got all sorts of colours in.
Very good. Yeah, these look stunning, because we need a couple of rugs for the bedroom. We've got the wood flooring down, as beautiful as it is. We did say all along that we were going to get a couple of rugs for the bedroom, so you've got something nice and cosy underfoot when you step out of bed on the morning.
Mm.
And these are just absolutely perfect for that. And for you, Benji, do you like them? These look nice and cosy for you to sleep on. What do you think, Benji? He's going to be nice and cosy in the bedroom for you to lay on. Eh? I think so. Right, should we go to the pub? Come on then. Benjamin, are you being a little piglet? Benji, can I have 2 pints, please? 2 pints of best, please. Cheers, Adam. So, here we are. This is one of our neighbours. There's Adam, and this is Auntie Jeanette. We're in the pub on a Saturday night. This is the landlord, Alan, and Benji has got his own bed in the pub because he's such a regular. How about that, Benji? Do you approve? The wagon tail says yes. Is that good? Go and lay down then. He's like, no, I prefer to be on the bar where the treats are. Benji? It's all been about the bedroom renovations lately, hasn't it? So let's take a break from the bedroom renovations and talk a little bit about this window behind me. Because I know a few of you have been asking, what happened about the wet window? Was it resolved? Did I miss that part of the video? No, don't worry, you didn't miss that part of the video. It's just that nothing has changed since then. So what we have established is that the wet that's coming in, it's coming in from the outside, so we know that for a fact. We had the stonemasons who did not the stonemason who did the work around the stove, but the stonemasons who did the exterior wall work. I remember just before Christmas they stripped all the old cement render off and the many layers of old non-breathable plasticky paint in a bed to help the cottage breathe a little bit and resolve the high levels of moisture. So we had those guys back out and they assessed the wall, and it turns out what's happened is the line pointing that they've done around the stonework has failed. There are slight hairline cracks around it and there are little chunks falling out. And that seemingly has happened due to the really cold weather that we had around about the time when they did that. So as I mentioned in a previous video, lime render does not like frost and it doesn't like too much water. So if there's heavy rain, it doesn't like it. If it's frosty, it doesn't like it, and it can fail and crack and start to crumble out. So this is what's happening at the moment. The rain and the wind is blowing at this side of the cottage, and this is where the problem lies. This side of the cottage is really exposed to the elements. So as soon as the wind blows the rain towards the side of the cottage, this happens. I'm not sure if you can see that on the video, but we start getting a little waterfall running down, well, not running, but trickling down the inside of the window recess, down the stonework. And it just pools and collects on the windowsill. You can see all of that just behind Adam's plants is soaking wet. Now, this isn't coming from the window. It's not the window that's failed. It's coming from the outside of the stonework. Do you remember we had to remove this up here, this wood, because it was all absolutely saturated and soaking wet and rotten? So that's a rusty old RSJ up there. And right up there, you probably can't see because it's dark, is the other side of the exterior stone wall, and that's where all the wet is getting in. It's getting in through the cracks in the lime mortar that have failed, and then just trickling down. So it's nothing to do with, you can see all the, this has been happening for quite a while. You can see where the windowsill there, the wooden windowsill, has clearly rotten over many years of this happening. And again, just little puddles of water where it's been dripping from above. So, what can be done about that? What are we doing? Well, not a lot at the moment. What needs to happen is the stonemasons need to come back out to rake out all of the lime mortar that has failed and cracked and started crumbling. Then they need to repoint it with new lime mortar, but they can't do this until the warmer weather returns. Well, they can do it, but if they come out and they do all of that work again, and there is another frost, which is very likely at this time of the year, it could fail again. So all of that work would have been for nothing. So what the stonemasons have advised is, if we can live with this, until the warmer weather returns around about March, to contact them again, and they will come out and spend 2 days just stripping out all of the lime render that has cracked and failed, and repoint it. So they are going to come out and resolve it, which is great, but it won't be until the warmer weather returns. And I get it, I understand it. You know, they are right. There is no point them coming out and doing this work if the weather just isn't suitable to do this kind of work, and it potentially could fail again. It's great, isn't it, Benji? Huh? You aren't bothered, are you? As long as you're nice and warm by the fire. We've still got the indoor water feature, and we'll just need to live with it until the warmer weather returns, and we can hopefully get this resolved once and for all. It's annoying because we've got the stove going, and it's really starting to dry out the stone wall. We can see where darker patches of the wall that have been wet for so long have finally started to dry out, and we know that because the stone's turned a lighter colour. But like I said, every time we get a heavy rainfall with a wind that blows it towards the side of the cottage, it just saturates it all again and undoes all of the hard work that we're trying to do. So nothing else much has changed at the moment. We just need to wait until the warmer weather returns so that this whole thing can hopefully be resolved once and for all. If there are any updates in the meantime, I will be sure to let you know.
We were also getting damp in the porch and discovered that the silicone seal around the flashing on the roof was broken and letting in rainwater. So Adam is doing a temporary fix just to keep out the wet for the time being.
This house looks like a bomber's hit it.
Don't look.
I'm taking a break from my painting and decorating. What on earth are you up to?
I'm putting the TV on the wall. Or attempting to.
Cool.
This, as I've discovered, is not sandstone. That's windstone.
It's windstone. I did say the sandstone is usually
Sandy?
pinky colour, or the blonde sandstone,
But
which is like a creamy yellowy colour. Remember, the stonemason was telling us that a few weeks ago.
either way, it ain't coming off. You don't like the noise, do you? No.
Oh, Benji.
Too much for dogs.
Too much for dogs.
But you won't move off your chair, will you? Will you? No.
So, tell everyone why we're trying to put the TV on the stone wall above the fireplace.
So it's in a decent place in the house.
Mm.
Because we've rearranged furniture. Because it was on that wall over there where there are a billion holes when I tried to find the joist last time.
Mm-hmm.
But if the TV's there, then when you open the door hits the TV. If you sat on the sofa, where you're standing now,
Mm-hmm.
if you sat at your end, you then have to look through the spiral staircase to watch the TV.
Yeah.
And with the sofa being here, it blocked all the heat from the stove.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all changed, move around.
Because if you remember, the sofa was here, where Benji's chair is. Hence why we temporarily had the TV on that wall. But it was always a temporary solution till we figured out what to do. We've now moved the sofa here, which is full of stuff from the bedroom, because obviously I'm in the middle of painting and decorating it. So what we're now doing is, as the sofa has been shifted there, it means we're facing the fireplace, so we'll get a lot more heat.
Yeah, the heat difference is amazing.
But obviously we need the telly above there. My issue with this was I didn't want a big black screen above the fireplace when the TV isn't on. I don't really like tech visible. It ruins the aesthetics in terms of interior design.
So we've gone with this cool TV, which also looks like a picture frame when it's off.
So we've gone for one of the...
As it was my birthday, I treated myself.
Adam treated himself to one of these Samsung frame TVs. So when it's off, it will just look like...
A picture.
A picture. A giant picture. And then that way, that's kind of hiding, or not hiding, but disguising the tech somewhat, isn't it? Yeah.
Right, I need to finish drilling this hole.
Yeah.
Right, there's going to be a noise. That should do it. Perfect. And you can tell it's whinstone
As a blunted your drill.
because it's burnt it out.
Wow.
Don't touch that, it'll be red hot.
Oof.
Yes. Vacuum's rubbish.
This isn't the bracket that came with the TV, by the way. This is the bracket we had the old TV on. And the reason we've kept this bracket is because it's got a single point of contact with the wall. Well, 2 points of contact with the wall. Whereas the bracket that came with the new TV has 4 points of contact because there's 2 parts to the bracket. Okay. And obviously, because the wall is very lumpy bumpy and not even at all, it would have been near enough impossible to have the bracket that needs 4 points of contact with the wall to get it level and even enough.
That ain't going anywhere.
Well, if you can do your pull-ups on it, it's definitely not going anywhere.
What you saying? Bloody cheek of this one.
The test will be, can I do my pull-ups on it without it going anywhere?
No, the whole bloody wall will fall down.
Oh, God.
You gonna help, Benji?
What about you, Benji? Will it fall down if you do your pull-ups on it?
No. A bit worried.
It's okay. It's alright.
I know it's all change, you're not used to change.
He doesn't like change, does he?
Box. Down. Hold it on with the box. Yep. Got it?
Yep. The frame's looking good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a bit.
Do you think we chose the right colour?
I think so. I think it looks good against the stone.
Well, the idea is obviously to try and have it look as much like a picture frame as possible. So I couldn't see the point in going for a white or a black or a grey, because then it would just look like a TV.
And don't worry, we've been monitoring this area above the stove for months now prior to Adam's purchase to make sure that it won't get too warm for the TV.
Come on, in you come. Come sit down. There's a good lad.
Oh, what a tough week it's been.
Just a bit.
I'm glad it's the weekend.
Survived the wind and the rain.
Hasn't it been a horrible week?
I know. The cottage doesn't like it, has it?
No, no. It's been raining indoors.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, I think we'll wrap this up for this week.
Yeah, I'm going to actually sit down for 5 minutes. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to continue to go and make some more lamps.
You've got more work to do upstairs in your workshop. Get these lamps made.
Before we do, though, a quick shout out to some new subscribers. We've got David Wiseman, Michael Bernal, Gail Carley, Gordon Films, 𝗪𝗁𝗪cie𝗿𝗄𝗆, and Kenny Stickles. Thank you very much for subscribing, guys.
Look, he's all prepared with his little notebook. Yes, thank you very much. And thank you all for watching once again. If you like this video, please remember to give us a like and subscribe. I know it just seems like a little thing, but it really, really does help us keep on creating these videos each week for you.
See you next week, guys. Have a nice week.
Bye for now. Benji,
Bye, Benji.
Benji, are you coming up? Should we watch something?
I'm off the dog.
You want to watch something?
Yeah, let's watch something.
What do you want to watch?
I don't know, what have we got on? You want to watch Paw Patrol, Benji?
Look! Benji.